Over the course of my career as a graphic designer, I've learned many graphics applications and gone through training for most of them. One thing I've often missed, though, is being able to jump straight in and do something fun. We are, of course, going to be covering every aspect of Flash 8 fundamentals in this course. But when I buy a program that's as much fun as Flash, it's great to be able to just dive in, get your hands dirty, and make something cool. That's why over the next few lessons we're going to create something. You'll be able to watch me do this and try it yourself, but I'm not going to stop and explain exactly why I'm performing each step. Just follow along, try it yourself, and you can always repeat steps if you need to. By the end of this course, we will have covered every step in this project, and you'll be able to go back and review. Okay, today we're going to make a bouncing basketball. Open Flash 8, and you should see this startup screen. Select Create New Flash Document here. If you don't see this startup screen, just choose New from the File menu and choose Flash Document here. You might notice now that my screen looks a little bit different from yours. If you've only recently installed Flash, you probably have some panels down here on the right side. I've removed these because I'm recording at a low resolution of 800 by 600 pixels. And removing these panels allows me more workspace. Now, with your blank document open the Properties panel down here, and you'll find some settings for the document. The default size is 550 by 400 pixels. We can leave the background color white, but let's change the frame rate. The default Flash frame rate is 12 frames per second, which is okay, but it can look a little bit jerky. Let's bump this up to 25. Don't worry about anything else just yet. And we'll start creating. The first thing we need to do is create the shape for our basketball, and we'll do this using the Oval tool. Select it here. And you can select some options here before you draw, but you can also select them afterwards. So let's just make a circle with whatever colors you have selected. Click and drag and hold down the Shift key, and your shape will be constrained to a perfect circle. Let go, and now we have a circle. Grab the selection tool up here in the corner and double-click this circle. This will select both the fill and the outline. And I'm going to zoom in a couple steps here. And when this is selected, down here in the Properties panel, you should see a few width and height and XY coordinates. Set the width of this to 40 pixels and 40 here. Now the next thing we're going to need to do is center this on the stage. And for this, we're going to use the Align panel. If it's not already over here on the right, choose Window and Align. You can also hit Control K on a PC or Command K on a Macintosh. Here's our Align panel. Make sure that the To Stage button over here, Align to Stage, is selected. Click Align Horizontal Center and Align Vertical Center. Now our shape is created and centered. We don't need the Align panel. This next step is up to you, but I'm going to get rid of the stroke around the outside. Single click right here on the edge to select it and hit your Delete key. Now we have the shape remaining here. Now let's give it a color. Choose Window and open the Color Mixer panel. Again, this is only if it's not already open over here on the right. The keyboard shortcuts for this are Shift and F9 on a PC or Shift and F9 on a Macintosh. Because this is a ball with a spherical shape, we're going to change the fill type from solid to radial. Now with this object still selected, we can alter the values of these sliders to make it look somewhat like a basketball. Basketballs are usually some type of orangey red color. So select an inner color here on the left, and now we need an outer color. But for the outer color, we can save ourselves the trouble of trying to find a good color by using the inner color as a starting point. Select this slider, highlight the hex color code here, and hit Control-C on a PC or Command-C on a Macintosh, or choose Edit and Copy. This will copy this number to the clipboard. Now we can go over here to the other slider, select this, and now hit Control-V or Command-V for Macintosh, and it will paste this number back in. Also, you could choose Edit and Paste. Hit the Return key or Enter key, and now there's our color. Now, using this as a starting point, we can drag this slider down just a bit until we get decent looking colors. Now, the last step for this lesson is to offset the center of this radial fill a little bit. You could leave it right in the middle, but I think it'll look better if we offset this by grabbing the paint bucket tool and single clicking just off center, just to the upper left of the center or the upper right. This will move the focal point or center point of this gradient just off center. Okay, there's our sphere. Save your work and move on to the next lesson.